Welcome to Chef Alli's Farm Fresh Kitchen. I'm Chef Alli and I've been stirring up a love of farm fresh cooking all across my home state of Kansas for over a decade. I enjoy teaching you about food, cooking, and family farms. And from farm to fork, Kansas farmers are always working hard so we can enjoy delicious Kansas-raised food.
Welcome back to Chef Alli's Farm Fresh Kitchen. We've got a lot of things on the table, but this sounds like a pretty easy recipe.
It's a very easy recipe, and it came from my friend Maddie. She made it for me. I turned around and made it for my guys at home, took it to them to the field where they were burning pastures, because in April, that's what we do as cattlemen or ranchers, is we burn pastures. Do you know why we burn our pastures typically? Why? Well, there's a lot of different reasons, but mainly as a good steward of the land, it helps us to take good care of the land because it gets rid of invasive weeds, trees, things like that. But it helps rejuvenate the land, and that helps us get better gain on our cattle because they get to eat better. Okay. But mainly it's about, it's twofold. Being a good steward of the land is very important, but also we want our cattle to get nice and fat so that when we eat them, they taste good.
So that's kind of like a rancher's spring cleaning.
Exactly. Very good way to put that. Yeah. So when I made this and took it to the field, I put it in my carrier. It was still nice and warm. It looked a whole lot better than this one does. I made this ahead of time.
So this is cooled down.
This is cooled down. So you need to know that at home, because when you take it out of the oven, it's going to be oozing and bubbly and just wonderful. So what we do to start with here in our 9x13 pan, we have one loaf of French bread that I cut into 1-inch pieces. Okay. And Amanda is going to take our cream cheese filling, and we're just going to dollop that all over the top. And sometimes I even use my scoop to do this, but we just want to put dollops and then kind of halfway spread that around as best we can. And your bread's going to move all around. Don't worry about that. It does not have to be picture perfect by any means.
I love when you say that. It does not have to be picture perfect.
This is, as you can see, it's a pretty rustic dish. So yeah, just go with it. And really, if you just got the filling in the center, just pretty much like you have, Amanda, it's totally fine.
Well, that was, it's easier to get the center than the edges.
And what that mixture was cream cheese with a little bit of mayonnaise and some Italian seasonings. Now, we want to put just a sprinkle of mozzarella cheese over the top of that. And then over there in your pitcher is 1 jar, and I love the, this is a Kansas product that's actually made over in Kansas City by Original Wands. But if you don't have, it doesn't have to be a special marinara sauce. It could actually just be Prego. If you have that on hand, use that. But what I did is I took this and mixed it with 1 cup of water. Okay. And so pour half of that over the top of your filling in your bread.
Cover the whole thing?
Yep. Just drizzle it on there. Super easy, super easy.
You can tell I'm nervous.
Don't be nervous. You got it.
I know, you always tell me that.
Yeah. Okay. And then what I like to do is take our meatballs, and this was a meatball that I purchased. It's a fully cooked meatball. Use any one that's your favorite one. Okay. And they were actually this size, which is kind of big, I think. So what I do, just so that I get more meat in every bite, is I like to cut my meatballs into quarters, and that's actually what you have in your bowl there. So sprinkle those all over the top of your marinara.
All of them? Did you use the whole bag?
Yes. We're using 1 pound is actually what this is, I believe. No, it says 14.25, so almost a pound of meatballs. Yeah. So sprinkle those around. And if you want to leave them big and whole like this, you can. That's fine too.
It's probably easier to eat.
I think so. I think when you have little kids at home, it's just better that way. Because if anybody were going to choke, it would always be on a big old meatball. So then pour the rest of your marinara over the top, just like that. And I always try to make for sure that I kind of go around the outer edge. And if we were at home, we'd take our spatula and get all that goodie. But you're doing perfectly great. There you go. Yep.
You're so nice to me.
And at home, I probably wouldn't put it in a pitcher, but I thought for today on TV, it'd be easier to pour.
You do it at home if you want to go the extra mile and feel a little fancy.
That's right. And then what we'll put over the top of that would be the remaining 1 cup. Look at you go. Isn't that pretty?
That sauce, yes.
Yeah, all that good rich sauce. And then, Amanda, we have parsley over there. That's going to be the finishing touch that's going to go over our cheese. Whoops, we'll spread that out like so. Just give that a sprinkle.
How much do I
Whatever you think looks good is what I would, it's probably about a teaspoon that we're gonna put on there. And as you're putting that on, rub that together, and rub your fingers together, and that's gonna have cause your parsley to release its essence and get a little bit more flavorful.
I like to release the essence.
Yeah, so we would pop this into a 350-degree oven for about 30 to 35 minutes until it's hot and bubbly throughout, about 160 degrees at the center.
Okay.
Yep, super easy. And the recipe is at Chef Alli's FarmFreshKitchen.com. You can always go there to get the recipe. And also I'm excited because now with all of the blog posts for all the recipes, we're actually going to include some photos from the ranch, from the farm, of our cattle and things that we're doing. So when you go there to get this recipe, you'll see photos of us actually burning some of the land this time. So it's going to be fun, and I hope you guys will enjoy that.
I love it. It's really neat to see that extra little touch you add.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. All right, Alli,
Thanks for having me.
All right, we'll be right back.
We're the Kansas Farm Food Connection, Kansas farmers and ranchers who are proud to put wholesome and nutritious food on your table. It's our mission to connect farms to families and families to farms through education and firsthand experience. Together, we're raising Kansas.